Well, it looks like it's time to welcome Urban Meyer to the NFL as he's taking the job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm going to tell you guys why it actually makes sense for him to get it and why other candidates are being overlooked. We'll talk about that from the podcast here in just a minute. What's good, everybody? Thank you for checking us here at Unfair Sports, where we're trying to take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. I am your host, Jay. I want to talk to you guys right now about Urban Meyer taking the job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Urban Meyer, he's got hired. He will replace Doug Marrone, who was just fired there with the Jaguars. They had his press conference. They did the announcement. Everybody's excited and blah, blah, blah. There's been some backlash, push. I've actually had a buddy. We just had a conversation about this, and he was kind of figure out why did Urban Meyer get his opportunity and why wasn't there some other coaches out there like an Eric Bieniemy or even a Robert Saleh, who now is the coach of the Jets. Why didn't they get this opportunity to get this job? And to be honest, I get why Bieniemy didn't get this job, because there's more to this than just coaching. There's way more to it, to what's going on in Jacksonville, that includes economics, finances, to assist them with an unsung hero, someone there that they can call their own, to help rebuild something that they actually never had in Jacksonville. I mean, the Jaguars made the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. What was that, 3 years ago? When they went to the AFC Championship game, lost to the Patriots, basically cost themselves a chance at the Super Bowl if they had a better quarterback, but they stuck with Blake Bortles, which isn't a horrible quarterback. He's an NFL quarterback, but he's actually a second-string quarterback, a backup, more so third. He definitely belongs in the league, but he should not be your starting quarterback unless in an emergency situation. And Jacksonville just kept riding with him. They kept rolling him out there with that elite defense. Leonard Fournette at running back, and hell, they got rid of Leonard Fournette. They cut him. I think that's a problem with the Tom Coughlin piece, but I digress. This is the reason why I think the Urban Meyer hire makes sense. So, like I mentioned, Jacksonville ain't really made the playoffs. Jacksonville is kind of a poverty team. Not saying that the owner's poor, not saying that the team is poor, but the team is not very good when it comes to their fan base and attendance, as well as revenue at their games. They don't get nobody there, and they don't get nobody spending money there. That's a big problem. To the point of the Jaguars play games in London every single year when the NFL started that partnership, and it's been extended to the point of Jacksonville's probably going to play 2 games in London, because they make more money at the London game than they do at a couple of the Jacksonville games in Jacksonville. That's terrible. That's telling, and it's obviously there's an issue with the fan base there in Jacksonville. Now, I know some loyal Jaguars fans out there that really rally up for the team, but they need more than that. And so bringing in someone like an Urban Meyer, who knows Duval County, I mean, he coached in Gainesville, so it makes sense to bring someone like him in to where the fans will rally around this coach. He is that guy. They haven't had a coach that anybody wanted to rally around, if you really think about it. I mean, Doug Marrone was okay, but no, not at all. Urban Meyer gives you that. That's the economics behind you hiring a guy like Urban Meyer. Let's go into that. They're bringing in Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. I don't think he's going to be your unsung hero. That's not who he is. He's young. He's a big name. But this is the NFL. We have no clue what he's going to be. I mean, Andrew Luck was considered a can't miss. And Andrew Luck was good, but he didn't really get that far. His team surrounding him wasn't that great either. But at the same time, he didn't get that far. And that's the situation you deal with in the NFL. You have no clue what your roster is going to look like. The NFL is a league of it's a league of attrition. The team that's the healthiest at the end of the year typically does the best. And you can't guarantee that your team's going to be healthy. You can't. You just got to have enough bodies that are good enough to make it. And the way that Jacksonville has put their teams together the last few years does not tell me that they're going to be prepared for any type of injuries. So let's talk about Urban Meyer and what he needs to do to be successful here. Now, a person like Eric Bieniemy and any other of those coaches that are looking for jobs, I mean, Jim Caldwell, just about any black coach out there, Marvin Lewis, that should deserve an opportunity. Why it's good they didn't get this job. They wouldn't do enough to I guess you could say, rally the fan base yet. The team needs to win more first. So for Urban Meyer, he needs to go in here with the mindset of, this isn't college. Hire as many former head coaches as your coordinators. Hire the guys that you know will leave your job, leave you within a year or two to get a head coaching job. Bring in those type of guys. Bring in that type of coach, because you need that experience to help you mold yourself around it. Because you have to understand, you ain't going to do much winning. And I understand that you want to do a lot of winning. Urban Meyer has a career 84% winning percentage in college. Awesome. Bill Belichick has a 68% winning percentage in the NFL. I guarantee you Urban Meyer doesn't hit 50 within his first year. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. He's doing all right. But he also brought in some very experienced coordinators to help him. And then the next piece of this is Urban, don't pretend like you're the smartest man in the room. Have those coordinators, those assistants that can help you mold your game plan into being an NFL game plan. Because Cliff Kingsbury, the most impressive thing to me is that he didn't really bring the air raid into the NFL. He actually is they're a more run dominant team. And I think he recognized that the run really does help open more things up. You can't just go out there and just sling it, even with a quarterback like Kyler Murray, because teams are going to start figuring that stuff out quick. Defensive coordinators are smart at this level. So, as long as Urban Meyer comes in there like that, I think he'll be okay. Now, these are things that's going to make you fail. And I really hope you don't do this. You're dealing with grown men. Can't treat them like they're in college. You can't recruit a whole bunch of 5-stars or bring them in, because I promise you probably got a lot of 5-stars on your roster, and so does everybody else in the NFL. This is the top 1% of the top 1% of football players from high school. There's levels. And so because of that, you got to make sure that you recognize you're dealing with grown men that will probably have longevity here. And you've got to build that rapport and relationship. If you're going there and not act like you're the smartest man in there and you try to learn from your guys, which I know you can. You're capable of. You're a smart coach. You've done a lot of winning. We know you can make that happen. I promise you'll be successful with that. But if you go in the opposite way, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship, and I am the law. Can't go in there and boom. Ain't going to work in the NFL. So, Urban, good luck. I see this is a smart move by the Jaguars, as they need something like this. They need that quote-unquote gimmick. But I don't think Urban's a gimmick. I think he's a winner. I think he's proven. And if the team continues to show that, they'll be all right, and they'll win a whole bunch of games. They may not win enough to make the playoffs, but if Ishaq Khan gives him enough leash, gives him an opportunity to give him enough line to where he can build something up, Jaguars might win something in the future. I'm not sure about Super Bowl. They'll win something.